Good day. This is your buddy Jim. Welcome to Slop in the Shop. For you viewers or whatever, I've been asked about this by a young man. Slop in the Shop is basically a mixture. It's a parody of how we used to feed pigs back in the old days in North Carolina, personal pig. Usually table scraps was what it was. And mixed in with some other stuff to make feed to fatten up a pig to slaughter for sausage and bacon and ham, such stuff as that. So with that being said, we have our traditional mix of slop for you. We've got a little bit of, this is more a little bit of machining projects and such stuff as that. It's a little more of that this time. Not as much showing things come into the shop, even though there's a couple pictures for that. So, no further ado, get the family around, the kiddies, the children, your dogs, your cats, get your beverages up, your choice, either standard or adult, or if it's early in the morning, a cup of coffee. Sit back and enjoy the video this week. I hope you find it somewhat entertaining of what's going on around in my humble shop. Again, thank you for viewing, and let's proceed right on to the slop for this week. Thanks a bunch. Okay, hey, I've got some items that came in. Both these are bandsaw blades. This is the type I really like to use here. I got this one from Amazon. I'm doing some experimenting. This is a this comes from Birmingham, Washington. This company, I just looked them up on the internet. They just basically weld up alum rolls, a high quality blade. That's a really good price. I'm gonna experiment with that, see if I like that. I've got some that I've bought before from my other saw, and they've really worked good. So I'm needing bandsaw blades, so that's something I'm doing. A little job here I'm going to do. Adam likes to call him Hey Man. I don't know. This is my brother-in-law who does a lot of stuff for me. So I can't very well he helps me out a lot, so I got to cut this off. And they got these little knobs, and what that does is when they put this in the adapter of their hitches, they put a Pringle hook on it. Won't, and it's a sleeve. So he asked me, I said, well, we'll just take and mill this off right quick. So that's what we're going to do, is two of them. It's cold in the shop right now, even though I've got the heat on. Now let's see what we can get ourselves into. All I'm doing is just knocking the ears off. Alright, let me turn it over. We'll get the other side. That's the side, same deal, buddy. Same thing, we'll roll up. I just got it slow. Roll up our take the time. There we go. All done. De-eared it. Took the ears off. All we did. That's all he wanted, was these ears knocked off here and here. I'm going to wipe this off, throw a little black paint on it. This assortment of stuff you see laying here is a little project I'm going to do this morning. Our teammate, I guess if you want to call it such, is Justin's brother Kyle races. Obviously, you've heard us talk about it. And him and his dad's running a crate type car this year. So they bought, and they're going to race. Kyle's been bugging the fool out of me. He wants him a camera on the car. So we're going to take this bracket here that we modified and make us a camera bracket out of it today. So let's figure this thing out. Well, sometimes you win and sometimes you're the dog, sometimes you're the windshield. But we're starting to solve the bracket out now. We're sawing this bracket out of a Harbor Freight jacket. I'll bring you back when I finish. Now we'll sand this up. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. All I'm going for out here is to put a little bit of just a little bit of an edge on it just to make it look better. I had to sand all 4 corners on this. Kind of knock the high spots off to try to make, just knock the high spots off so it looks good. See, I'm working on it. It's going to take a little bit, just from here I waved a little bit. See how I'm doing. Now all I'm doing here is just drilling a quarter. I'm trying to drill this where you can see. And I'm going to drill it. I'm just drilling a clearance hole for a quarter 20 bolt. Just a little old simple quarter 20 bolt hole. Nothing fancy, just a little piece of aluminum. Trying to keep my arm out of it. It's kind of hard to do. Alright, then I'm just going to go over here and drill the other one. Okay, here we go. We got them. What I'm going to do is transfer one hole at a time. Drill and tap it and bolt it, then I'm going to line the other one up and transfer it, or actually drill it in place. It just makes more sense. Cuts down on any possible error that we might have. Since I cut the back out of this weight clamp, really not good enough to use for a weight clamp anymore. So using it for a camera mount makes a lot more sense. So got a little aggressive going through. Sometimes this happens. These bits just don't like. I'm bad not to tighten my bits up. So alright. Pop it right through there now. Okay, we'll take it over and we'll deburr it. This way, this is going to be where I want it, in line, not give me no limp, no problems, and no trouble. I lining it up this way. We'll go put this on Kyle's race car. I'm going to paint it and everything, so this is going to be a simple, quick. I'm going to paint it before I glue the GoPro mount on it. And what I'll do is put a piece of tape on the GoPro mount. All right. Now all we got to do is tap it out. Okay, now that's the bracket. I'm gonna actually paint these brackets instead, but I wanted to show you what it's gonna look like. Then this will bolt the upper roll bar, and this will be a camera mount. We'll decide where to put this on the car. I'll probably go mount it next week once I get it dried up. I'm making one of these little, what we call, we're gonna put the grills. This is where the grill goes into the race car. on the plastic nose. This is just rolled plastic, so real simple. I just basically cut and laid this out this morning out of a piece of plastic. It's nothing perfect. It's kind of hard to cut. Right now I'm drilling the rivet holes in. This will mount on our nose with a piece of hardware cloth for our nose. First have a screen going into the radiator. This will be usually on the lower part of the radiator where we usually have this at. And some people drill a bunch of 1-inch holes. But I like to have an extra screen in it, so we cut these ports out and put screens in them. And I've just learned I'd rather use this here roll plastic because it kind of gives a little bit. The noses of these cars get kind of bumped a little, so aluminum, if you bump them, they warp. This will give just a bit more than the aluminum will. So I'll just insert this one. Literally go right into it. Pull them out. It's a little simple job. There's 2 of these, one for each side of the nose. We use a Monte Carlo body, so it tends to be, looks more like a mid-80s Monte Carlo. A lot of the guys went to Camaros, but we want to be more traditional. So many Camaros now, we just want to be old school. All right. There's that done. Then all we do is put a piece of like hardware cloth behind it. Okay, these are the completed little nose screen supports. I just drilled out for the rivets to fit in, nothing fancy. We'll just put them in a, we'll just slap them in there, get the nose built. Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed Slop in the Shop this week. As any video that I produce, or most all YouTube creators produce, this is a copyright production of James Deadman Saw Logs Plastic Hubs for your entertainment, enjoyment, some comic relief, and viewing pleasure. So I hope you enjoyed your little visit. I'm trying to get back on a weekly visit schedule. I'm getting a little more going on. But we're getting into racing season. We're supposed to race. This is the coming up the last weekend in February. We're supposed to have a season opener, and the car is being completed as I speak. We're going to cut it down to the wire as usual. Mostly it's just the cosmetic work takes so long. The actual mechanicals have been in real good shape for a long time, but you kind of got to wait your turn, and it just takes a while to build bodies, and life happens. So that's sort of the racing update. With all that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you sit down and tell your friends and all about the channel. I hope if you don't understand the parody about the slop, like I explained in there earlier, put a comment in. I'll explain it a little further in the comments. But the truth of it is, it's just a mixture. I hope you enjoyed the little mixture of stuff I gave you this week. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. And I'm just so glad you stopped by and seen the video and say hey to me. Peeked over my shoulder. With that all being said, we'll see you in the next video, and you just have a great, wonderful day.